We've just bought a big asset in London, and they're going to announce it as part of Trump's visit with the CEO of BlackRock, just as an investment in data centers in the UK. Our whole thesis is around buying existing assets, modernizing them, making them more efficient. We're halving the cost of the energy, in effect, within the facility, with a focus on what we call wholesale colocation, so not hyperscale. Could be, it's up to them, but trying to do sub 20 megawatt sites.
What are the sustainability issues with these smaller ones?
A lot of these have had, chillers, a chiller design that's 20 years old. Equipment that's over 10 years old, and you can, just both in terms of the investment and just if you were just doing a rip and replace, you could drive your energy costs down 30% roughly.
We're shifting political priorities and growing geopolitical tension. How do you see private sector's role evolving in driving sustainability, especially when policies support waivers?
It's going to come full circle. The cost of the energy impact or the energy distribution and transmission impact is going to get socialized. So when rates start going up with people, that's when it comes full circle, and they say, wait a second, maybe we do need to account for a higher degree of true sustainability, not just the carbon emissions, but ultimately, also like how do you deliver a sustainable economic footprint for your resources? Like that to me is like the true meaning of sustainability. I think in Europe, what you're seeing though is the energy costs are so high. You want to be the most efficient. You want to be the most energy efficient. If you look back and go 5 years ago, and you looked at all the data centers in London, every single one of them was green. We're a green data center, and I think people have woken up to the reality that they're not green. They're buying from a collective grid that has finite resources. So I think it's more important to reflect the reality of our impact on the environment and the energy grid and the energy supply to support that. That's more authentic, in my opinion. I do see that the evolution of this industry is quickly gotten there. That is not just about reducing emissions and calling yourself green. It's about more authentic sustainability, which I think is the only thing that can truly sustain the business and the industry in the long term. Because we are having a big impact in energy supply or energy demand. It's going to be, it's beyond the percentages, because if you look at certain areas, like, obviously it gets talked about like Dublin, the actual energy take-up in some of these, population dense areas has a bigger impact in the energy footprint. You've got to maintain a certain level of robustness to that grid that's beyond what they had before.
To what degree there is misunderstanding of the industry in the public domain? Do you think the industry is paying attention, or should they be paying attention?
Yes, I don't think they're paying enough attention right now, and I have sat in roundtables with other data center CEOs who just turn the problem back to regulators and turn the problem back to politicians, and they're saying they need to do more to enhance connectivity for data centers and enhance energy supply. And it's not a reflection of the reality of the socialized cost aspect of our impact on the grid. And I think that is where it's better to get ahead of that now and truly, try to make a difference in how we plan, how we invest in data centers, rather than just see ourselves as a taker.
So if you're going to be investing in a company, do you check with them that they are actually engaging with the communities, making sure that they're listening to them or educating them?
It is very much about that. How we develop strategies often is about how do we mitigate all this impact. It's an opportunity. If you identify the fact that these grid costs and what will become more politicized when rates start going up, when people start paying more in their electricity bills, it will become more politicized. I'd say it's a little bit less so now. It's more on the periphery. When that happens, I think if you've got a strategy that's really about mitigating that. As a data center infrastructure operator and builder, I think that actually becomes more effective. And obviously some of that is coming through in the let's create an integrated generation and power supply equation for when we think about infrastructure. We also look at, in Europe, look at where latency and sensitivity has an ability to kind of play into the compute needs. And I think that has to be part of the answer. So for us, that risk becomes an opportunity.